Alex Turner was your typical college student, the kind of person who stayed up late studying for exams while juggling part-time work to support his dreams of a successful future. With ambitions of graduating at the top of his class and landing a job that would set him on a promising career path, he invested countless hours in his coursework. His days were filled with lectures and study sessions, but he always made time for his friends, especially Jessica Lee, who had been his steadfast companion through the ups and downs of college life. Enter Ryan Cooper, Alex's new roommate. At first glance, Ryan seemed charming and affable. Had a contagious smile that easily won people over. They bonded quickly over late-night pizza and shared study sessions, making it easy for Alex to trust him. However, as the weeks went by, subtle cracks began to show in Ryan's facade, little things that felt off but were hard to pin down. Began innocently enough. Alex noticed small discrepancies in his credit report, a sudden drop in his score that left him bewildered. Charges appeared on accounts he didn't recognize, extravagant purchases that didn't align with his modest lifestyle. Panic settled within him as he desperately tried to resolve these issues amidst mounting academic pressures and impending exams. In hushed tones during their late-night talks over coffee, Alex confided in Jessica about the growing unease gnawing at him. "There's something not right," he whispered one evening after class. "Shake this feeling, like someone's messing with my life." Jessica listened attentively, but could only offer words of comfort, suggesting they keep an eye out for anything suspicious regarding Ryan's behavior. Days turned into weeks filled with sleepless nights spent poring over bank statements and credit reports while trying to maintain good grades in school. Each passing day deepened Alex's unease, until it became impossible to ignore the growing shadows lurking around his financial identity. Stress mounted from both academics and personal turmoil. Alex found himself increasingly caught between trusting his instincts and seeking proof to validate them, an elusive task that only added fuel to the fire consuming him from within. Cracks widened between them like fissures in fragile ice. Uncertainty loomed heavy over what once felt like brotherhood among roommates, and little did Alex know this would be just the beginning of a tumultuous battle ahead. Alex felt a chill run down his spine as he stared at the official letter. His desk, ominous and stark against the clutter of textbooks and notes that filled his small dorm room. A word serious debt incurred loomed over him, casting a shadow across his already burdened mind. He opened the envelope with trembling hands, reading through the details, a list of charges that he never authorized, expenses racked up by someone else but bearing his name. In that moment, everything clicked into place. A mysterious drops in his credit score, the unexplained charges on his accounts, they all pointed to Ryan Cooper, his once charming roommate who had now become a source of dread. Alex's heart raced as anger surged within him. How could Ryan betray him like this? Determined to confront Ryan, Alex paced back and forth in their shared living space. He couldn't let this go unanswered. His studies were important to him, but so was protecting what little financial security he had built for himself. If sensing the storm brewing inside Alex, Ryan strolled in with an air of casual indifference. "Hey man, want to hit up that new cafe? I just found out they have amazing pastries," Ryan exclaimed with a grin. Alex clenched his fists at his sides. "Oh, Ryan, we need to talk." Ryan raised an eyebrow but leaned against the doorframe casually, as if entirely unbothered by Alex's tense demeanor. "Or, what's up, this?" Alex said sharply as he thrust the letter towards Ryan's face. Glanced at it briefly before rolling his eyes dismissively. "Come on, Alex, it's probably just a mistake or something. Stop pretending you don't know what's happening. You've been using my identity." Alex's voice rose with desperation and fury. Ryan laughed lightly, an arrogant sound that only fueled Alex's anger further. "I'd waste my time on your boring life. Get real." It was as if a dam had burst inside Alex. All the frustration and helplessness turned into rage that propelled him forward until they were mere inches apart. "Prove it?" Alex spat out defiantly. "Oh really?" Ryan scoffed again before stepping back with mock curiosity in his eyes. "How do you plan on doing that?" In that moment of confrontation, surrounded by crumpled papers and empty dreams lost in financial turmoil, something shifted within Alex. No longer would he be passive, no longer would he allow himself to be victimized by someone who had taken advantage of their friendship. With newfound determination bubbling beneath the surface, he turned away from Ryan and picked up his phone, instead dialing Jessica's number with steady fingers while keeping an eye on Ryan's smirking figure in front of him. "Jess," he he said when she answered breathlessly on the other end after only 2 rings. What's going on? Jessica replied, instantly picking up on the urgency in his voice. Meet me in our usual spot, Alex urged her anxiously. I need your help. As soon as they hung up, anxiety mingled with hope swirled within him, a belief that together they could gather evidence against Ryan's fraudulent actions and restore order to their lives again. Jessica arrived shortly after, looking concerned, yet ready to listen intently, as always her unwavering support giving strength to face whatever lay ahead together. You can't let this slide. Firmly, after hearing about everything from start to finish, while sitting cross-legged across from him in their favorite cafe corner, a safe haven amidst chaos, where ideas flowed freely between them like warm coffee steam into cold air outside. I've got some ideas about how we can collect proof, Jessica continued thoughtfully, after contemplating for a moment longer than necessary under dimmed lights around them. Ignited within both friends together, they were determined not just for revenge, but also reclaiming dignity stripped away from each other during this painful ordeal, one deliberate step at a time toward justice waiting patiently. Head around every corner when least expected, Alex spent countless hours gathering evidence, meticulously documenting each transaction that didn't belong to him. He scoured his bank statements, noting every unfamiliar charge with a sense of urgency fueling his determination. Each entry felt like a personal invasion, an affront to the life he had worked so hard to build. With each day that passed, Ryan's betrayal settled deeper into Alex's bones, igniting a fire within him, a need for justice that could no longer be ignored. Jessica remained his rock throughout this ordeal. Alex paced back and forth in their small dorm room. She was always there with a reassuring presence. We're doing the right thing, she would remind him gently. We'll get through this together. Her unwavering support fortified his resolve as they brainstormed ways to confront Ryan. After reviewing yet another suspicious charge linked to Ryan's extravagant lifestyle and expensive watch that Alex knew damn well he wouldn't spend money on, they hatched a plan that sent adrenaline coursing through them both. They decided it was time to confront Ryan directly, but under the guise of wanting to reconcile their roommate dynamic. The idea was to catch him off guard and lure him into admitting something incriminating. With Detective Martinez now involved in the investigation, due to the severity of identity theft cases in her precinct, Alex felt more equipped than ever. After sharing everything he had uncovered with her, Martinez promised to assist them during the confrontation while also ensuring they stayed safe. The day arrived when they would meet Ryan at a local cafe, an unsuspecting venue, where tensions could simmer beneath casual banter disguised as friendship. They sat across from each other at a small table adorned with steaming cups of coffee. Alex couldn't help but feel an overwhelming mix of anxiety and anticipation swirling in his stomach. "Hey man," Ryan greeted casually as if nothing were amiss, his charm still intact despite the chaos swirling beneath the surface of their lives. "Ian," Alex replied coolly, suppressing any hint of anger threatening to burst forth like a volcano readying itself for eruption. "What's up?" Ryan continued, seemingly oblivious to the storm brewing between them. "You've been hearing some rumors," Jessica chimed in smoothly, her calm demeanor helped steady Alex's racing heart. "We should just clear things up." As they steered the conversation toward specific transactions on Alex's account, a line carefully woven with deceitful curiosity, Ryan's facade began cracking under pressure. A moment Jessica named an expensive item purchased on Alex's behalf, a jacket worth more than what he could afford. He shifted uncomfortably in his seat. You've got it all wrong," Ryan stammered. Suddenly defensive sweat glistened on his brow as suspicion darkened Alex's gaze. But before Ryan could weave another lie or dodge accountability further, Detective Martinez appeared discreetly from behind another table, where she'd been observing intently the safety net they'd prepared for this moment finally stepping into action. "Mr. Hooper," she said firmly but calmly as she approached their table with authoritative confidence radiating from her presence. "I'm going to need you to answer some questions regarding these charges." Panic danced across Ryan's face as realization dawned upon him too late. His careless arrogance had let him hear the web he'd spun around himself tightening by the second. With cameras rolling from Jessica's phone, hidden artfully on top of their drinks, capturing every moment, unfiltered silence enveloped them like fog rolling over hills. Only then did it sink into both men how precarious this game had become. Detective Martinez skillfully extracted confessions, peppered with incriminating details under pressure, until finally announcing, "You are under arrest for identity theft and fraud." In that instant, when handcuffs clicked around Ryan's wrists, and shock registered fully on his face, a mixture of disbelief and humiliation. It became clear. Justice was being served hot and fresh straight from reality's kitchen. As he was led away by police officers filling out paperwork nearby, while whispers rippled through patrons surrounding them, who'd witnessed everything unfold, I can't ascribe how much relief washed over me like waves lapping against sand after a stormy sea calmed down again, and I knew deep inside my heart I had taken back control over my life. The campus buzzed with whispers after Ryan's arrest. The echoes of disbelief rippling through the hallways. Gossiped in groups, their faces a mix of shock and intrigue as they learned about the roommate who had betrayed Alex Turner in such a monumental way. A once friendly atmosphere surrounding their shared dorm now felt tainted. Trust had shattered, leaving behind an uncomfortable void. Alex, however, found solace in Jessica's unwavering support. They often met at their favorite cafe to talk about rebuilding his life one small step at a time. Over steaming mugs of coffee, Jessica helped him devise a plan to restore his credit history and reputation. It's going to take time, she reminded him gently, but we'll get through this together. With each meeting with Professor Thompson, a figure of guidance within the college, Alex grew more knowledgeable about financial recovery strategies. A professor patiently explained the steps necessary to dispute fraudulent charges and rebuild credit scores that had been so carelessly tarnished by Ryan's actions. Alex listened intently, jotting down notes filled with hope. Days turned into weeks, and although progress was slow, each small victory brought Alex closer to reclaiming his identity. He filed disputes with various creditors, while working diligently on his studies, determined not to let Ryan's deceit derail his academic ambitions any further. Spring approached, signs of renewal blossomed around campus, flowers began blooming outside classrooms, where laughter once echoed freely among friends, a stark reminder of happier days, untainted by betrayal. Yet for Alex, these changes symbolized more than just nature's cycle, they represented resilience and rebirth amidst chaos. In quiet moments alone in his room, or during reflective walks across campus paths, lined with new blooms awakening from winter's grasp, he pondered how far he'd come since discovering the truth about Ryan. Each step forward illuminated lessons learned: the importance of vigilance regarding personal information, understanding trust's fragility, and recognizing true friendship amidst adversity. In the afternoon, while sitting under an oak tree's comforting shade with Jessica beside him, a familiar ritual that had become a source of strength for them, both Alex took a deep breath before speaking up softly. I've changed because of all this. I won't let anyone take advantage of me again. Jessica smiled gently as she reached over to squeeze his hand reassuringly. And you're stronger for it, she affirmed quietly yet firmly. A day marked not just an end, but a beginning, a newfound wisdom embedded deep within him that carried weight beyond any fleeting moment of revenge against Ryan Cooper. Justice may have unfolded through legal means, but true justice began when Alex emerged from shadows cast long ago into someone unbreakable, a person worthy not only of respect, but also one who possessed the courage never again to be silenced or robbed of their identity. He prepared for graduation months later with renewed confidence shining brightly. Alex felt anticipation brewing within him, not just for ceremonial pomp, but rather exciting possibilities ahead on horizons painted with dreams once thought lost forever amidst betrayal. And there would always be remnants left behind from what transpired between friends turned foes, the scars reminding him endlessly about caution alongside trust. Allowing those reminders to weigh heavy upon him like chains, anchoring him down into dark waters, below he chose instead embraced them like badges worn proudly, signifying survival through hardship toward brighter tomorrows. Waiting discovery beyond every corner, still shrouded in uncertainty. And so it was that despite everything endured due largely unfair circumstances thrust upon himself unexpectedly, Alex Turner stood taller now than ever before, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing fully well. Battles may leave wounds, but real victories lie ultimately inside ourselves, where growth emerges strongest, despite all odds stacked against us along life's winding journey, unfolding continuously onward.